In her new book, Creative Velocity, she shares how anyone, not just tech experts, can use AI to write better, problem solve faster, and think more creatively. Leslie, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So now your book says that AI can boost creativity and also for everyday people, not just tech pros. Can you kind of explain how it does that?
Certainly. So what's great about AI is that it can recognize patterns faster than the human brain can, and it can process vast amounts of information that can help us make smarter decisions. For example, it could help us plan a travel itinerary that's bespoke just for our tastes. It might also draft a cover letter for a job search. It can make more information available to you in new ways for you to think about it so that when you go about your business, you're actually thinking more vastly than you would on your own. So AI can act as kind of a creative catalyst for you.
Yeah. I'm curious, a lot of folks are nervous about AI, I would say. What would you say to someone who is maybe more scared than excited about this new advent of AI?
Well, one of the reasons people are scared is that they see a risk that AI is going to take over what it is they do. But one thing AI is not good at is human discernment, is understanding what's meaningful and valuable to people, or to put things in context of the societal or cultural norms that someone lives within. And so people need to sort of show some creative agency, some ownership over the machine and take the reins of that conversation so that the things that come out of AI actually assist them, are valuable, and maybe help move the ball forward in ways they couldn't do on their own. And so what's really important for people to minimize the risk is to actually make the time and space to build creative capacity.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And we were actually just talking about this yesterday.
We
So
were.
it's so cool that we're chatting about this. And you mentioned, how small business owners can use this. Can you maybe share another real world example, like how a teacher or a small business could use AI?
Absolutely. All the time when I was writing the book, I would look at how AI would solve a problem that I put into one of the chapters. So each chapter in the book has exercises that people can practice. And so one of the things it helped me do is to make sure I didn't overlook things in my problems that I was creating. So as a teacher, if you're creating sort of case studies or scenarios for students to work through, you can run them through AI first and see what AI comes up with and see if maybe perhaps you've missed something in your thinking. And so it in some ways, it's a collaborator who can look at the work differently than what you produce to see if you missed anything, to add anything to it, and to enhance your own view of the problem you're describing. And so that's one way that it can help. Another way that it can help is really to look at the limitation of the resources that you have on hand, especially as a teacher or a small business owner, and they can help you kind of MacGyver a solution. One of the things AI is great at is figuring out how to do things, regardless of the resources or constraints that are available.
Yeah. I'm curious about this, maybe describing a little bit more, Leslie. What does it mean to unlock creative capacity?
Well, I think a lot of people subscribe to myths about creativity, that I'm not a creative person, I'm an analytical person, or I'm not a creative person because it's not my job to be creative. I have a very task-oriented job. But I think it's a choice that people need to make to unlock the time and space to activate their imagination. Because once they know how to do that, they can call upon it with the triggers that are unique to them, whether that's to take a walk in the woods or to take a hot shower, or a hot bath, to give yourself the time and space to connect the dots between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. And a lot of people just fill their day with meetings and tasks and don't create that time or space to let their mind wander or to let these ideas bubble up from your subconscious into your conscious mind.
Yeah, and those are just some of the topics that Leslie tackles there in her new book, Creative Velocity. Thanks for joining us, Leslie. We
Thank you,
appreciate your time.
Leslie.
It was a pleasure to meet you both. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
having me.
you as well. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much. Yes.